Hello everyone, Mike here with you guys once again, and I have waited a while to do this because, as you can hear, I'm sick. I've been sick for a while. Anyways, it is time for an updated video game collection. Now I'm going to do it differently this time. Normally I show you all my digital downloads, my physical games for all my systems. But today, for this year, I think I'm just going to show you my PS4 and Xbox One game collection, mainly because my 7th Gen games collection has not grown at all. So if you want to see my 7th Gen games, you can watch previous videos on those. So we're just going to focus on the games systems I've been getting new games for, and that is for current gen. It's going to be a PS4 video. I'm going to do one for the Xbox One, and the Switch will probably just be like added on to that one simply because I don't have any games for it. Anyways, let's get started. And I already have my games split up into different folders on the PS4. So let's get started. This is going to be with the VR horror section of the game collection. Here's Home Sweet Home. I started to play this and stopped right before the scares started because I'm chicken. I have not played this one yet, Exorcist Legion, because I am too scared to, but I do need to do it. And plus, you know, having to set up the move controls is a kind of a hassle because I have to turn all the lights off, and you know. But I will say it does make the immersion much better. I tried to when I was messing around with the beginning of Home Sweet Home, I really missed the move controls when I was doing that. So this is another game I'm too scared to try out, mainly because in this one you can actually die. It's Paranormal Activity: The Lost Soul, and I will get to it. My plan is to play all the horror games. Don't Knock Twice, I did complete. It's I would have liked this one a lot, and I was digging it for a while, but then bugs started showing up, and I had to restart the game several times to get it to work again. And by the way, do not use the DualShock with this. It's awful with the DualShock. Use the move controls. It is a bit of a learning curve, but she will get the hang of it. So. Without the bugs, I would recommend this game, but with the bugs, I can't. This is the demo for the beginning of Resident Evil. It's not really the beginning, like the map layout is from the beginning, but you're playing a different character and it ends differently. And there's like a couple of different endings you can get for this one. Resident Evil 7, I got to the molded, and then they were too hard, so I gave up. This is a demo this is a prequel to Transference. It's very short, won't take you very long, and it's free. This is the full game itself. Definitely enjoyed this one. This one also could have used move support, but still, it's even though there are puzzles in it, and there's one hard puzzle at the end, which I didn't like. Overall, it was a good experience and very narrative driven. Yeah, I like that sort of thing. Rush of Blood, I wish you couldn't die on it because this would be a great haunted house experience if you couldn't die. But due to being able to die, even on easy, the game gets too hard after a certain point. I do not recommend The Impatient. The Impatient is really a missed opportunity. Not only is the most intense jump scare in the game way too early, halfway through, you're just walking around with people and there should be danger and there's not. So that kills all the suspense. It's the equivalent of watching a boring horror film late night, and you end up falling every time. Every time I went through this, I wanted to fall asleep. Boring! And Here They Lie. A lot of people get motion sickness with this. I only got motion sickness once because I was trying to outrun the enemies, and that was my vision was I was just looking all over the place trying to find a way to escape the enemies. However, otherwise I was able to handle it fine. I really like the atmosphere here. The atmosphere here is so nightmarish that I was so creeped out even in early Saturday morning. And that's when I understood the power of VR when it comes to horror. This is basically a Halloween Horror Nights experience in VR. That's basically what the effect it is. And those are my VR horror games. My next list is my non-horror VR games, and I have a lot more of these here. Vuri I got for like a couple bucks. I would recommend it for the price if it was 3D, but it's not, so I cannot recommend it. Titanic VR, a really good experience if you love old school Epcot rides. If you miss that, the old educational, creepy, but very slow-moving Epcot experiences, Titanic VR is for you. This took me back to that, especially the long tour in particular. This is free, but I don't recommend it. I think Battlefront's experience is better. It's just not very good. Skip it. I only played with a DualShock for like the first area, and all I can say about it is Doom. I know that it's supposed to be played with the move controls, and it's meant to be played with teleportation, and it creates different gameplay mechanics, but I have not tried that. Farpoint. Really creepy enemies. It's really satisfying when a spider jumps at you when you shoot it while it's in midair. It's pretty awesome. I would recommend to play this one completely in the dark with an aim controller. The aim controller on this thing, when there's no light, is incredible. But if you're playing with light in the room, it is going to mess up your aim control. It's just not going to feel right. It's going to want to go to the left when you're right-handed. That's what it did for me. But if you play completely in the dark, that is not an issue, and the game works flawlessly at that point. I will say this is the only game I have to sit down for. Even though my camera I can stand up and sit down where the camera is on most games, Farpoint forces me to sit down, and that's an issue when I'm outside of the main game. However, when I'm inside the main game, it's not really an issue. However, I do wish I could stand and play this. Rigs, I played one match at it, and I lost by 1 point. We were tied at the end of the game, and the very last minute, the other team won by 1 point. Sad. Robinson the Journey. Got it because of the dinosaurs. I looked at some dinosaurs and then I stopped because I watched Let's Plays of it, and it looked too hard after a certain point, especially with the stealth sections in the end. But I wanted to see a dinosaur in VR, so I got it. Megaton Rainfall has the biggest incentive to play through it because you can go anywhere in the universe and the world and destroy cities, but only if you can beat certain sections of the campaign. That is too hard for me. So that really disappointed me personally. However, it is probably the biggest incentive to keep playing. However, the difficulty, this is why I wish I was good at games, so that I can get through it and unlock the entire universe, basically. Okay, this is my first platinum. I just got it recently, my first platinum ever, and Job Simulator, and really easy experience. It's funny, my bunny, and it's cute, and it has a Portal type sense of humor to it, and it's just a really cool place to be in. It has a really cool concept, and it's just a good experience overall. This is a demo, but I thought it was cool to watch an anime character in a show, so I got it. This is okay, worth trying once. It's just you talking to a few characters, you see a few characters, and that's it. Crow is pretty impressive. The audio is disappointing, but the visuals are phenomenal. You have to stand up and you need to turn around constantly to see what's going on. So I definitely recommend this one. It's free, definitely worth picking up. This was too hard for me. I should have understood it. I should not have struggled with this, but I did because I suck. Star Trek Bridge Crew. Play this with friends. If you've got friends into Star Trek, this is a must, because even if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to have a blast. But if you are playing this by yourself and you're confused, it's not going to be fun. So definitely play with friends on this one, especially if they're Star Trek fans. Rick and Morty VR has a section in it that I couldn't play because I had the lights on, and because the controls aren't as responsive with the lights on, I couldn't play one of the mini games where I couldn't charge the battery because the controls just weren't up to par. I have not tried it in the dark. I need to. Maybe I'll get past that part. I did enjoy it up to that point. This is why I've waited so long, by the way. But I knew I needed to because the year's almost up. Counting Plus is a really weird Adult Swim-like experience. And if you are a fan of that, definitely worth picking up. I love weirdness, so this was right up my alley. It's not very long, but it is an experience I do recommend for sure. Roller Coaster Dreams is not very good for the most part, but when it is worth it to ride the roller coasters in VR. That alone makes it worth picking up. Or I would say that if it was cheaper. I think it should be under $10 rather than $20. But if it were cheaper, I could recommend it. But as of now, I can't recommend it. I got this for my friend who's into One Piece. He has a One Piece obsession, so I got this for him to try out. He hasn't tried it out yet, but I know he's going to eventually. Firewall 0 Hour. I got the AIM bundle, the Firewall AIM bundle, and this is what made me go, wow, the AIM is so intuitive. I have not played against real people because I suck. I've only played against bots, and the bots just keep coming, and you really want teammates who will back you because you can run out of bullets. And if you run out of bullets, you might find yourself in a situation where scrounging for bullets and get you killed. So, definitely a teamwork only experience. It's basically Rainbow Six Siege in VR. That should interest you. Yeah. Eagle Flight, the campaign got too hard after a while, but I do love flying in free roam. This is just a demo. I got it for free and can't say much about it. VR Zoom is supposed to be played with a bike, like you're supposed to exercise in VR. My favorite map is the river one, where you're just collecting stuff on a river, and when the sun sets and it's overnight, it's beautiful. Do not recommend this. Very disappointing. You teleport when you fly. That's a big no-no for Spider-Man in my book. Rec Room is so much fun in my bun. I just love hanging out in the main room, in the main area, and just listening to people talk. It's just great. One of the cool things is because everybody's a cartoon, if somebody is toxic and being mean, it's like watching a Fisher-Price character get up, be mean, and it's hilarious. So yeah, highly recommend this one. Time Machine, if you love underwater dinosaurs, that's what this is about. And it's the story mode is really just the beginning of the story. It's not the full story. You needed to complete everything 100% to finish the full story. But yeah, I bumped into a Megalodon several times. I can say that because of this. This is the definitive roller coaster game. It's a futuristic racer. I love riding on the tracks. This makes me wish I had simulator seats because would be perfect for it. This is basically Skyrim in VR. Playing with the move controllers are much more immersive, but more confusing. Playing with the DualShock is much more intuitive, but less immersive. So take your pick. But still, either way, Skyrim in VR is amazing. You have not seen the Shrine of Azura until you see it in VR, because that thing is much bigger than you thought. It really is. And then, of course, and climbing up the steps towards the tallest mountain is incredible in VR. This I can't say much about. It's just a promotional thing for We Happy Few. This isn't that great, but you do get to see Trico in real time, and it's worth getting for that reason alone because it's free, but not worth playing again. There's some pretty impressive stuff in here. One of the experiences here is so impressive that they made a full game out of it, and I hear it's great. So definitely pick this one up. It's free. This is just a demo, and all I got was the tutorial, but the tutorial was entertaining, so I kept it. This is a collection of demos, and this is a collection of demos. This is much better than Call of Duty. And this is also a full-fledged game, but it's a multiplayer game. When I say it's better than Call of Duty, I'm talking about the VR portion of it. It's much better than Call of Duty's VR experience. And as for the rest of the games, and I'm talking about all my games, I enjoy playing with bots. It's entertaining multiplayer. Best things in PSVR worlds are Ocean's Ascent and London Heists. Don't worry about the other experiences. They're not good. But those two experiences are worth picking up for. My first experience in VR was Ocean's Descent, and I would have waited 3 hours in line at a theme park for that. It's that good. This game, not only is there a bunny in it, but you get to be a bunny. So thumbs up for that. I'll admit as a milestone in animation. You have to see this to really to know what it's about. It is totally worth seeing. The visuals will blow you away. This is just an app where you can relax and look at the beach. This is a demo for a puzzle game. Really hard game, but very well made. This game is much better than Spider-Man. It's this forced teleportation, which I didn't like, but the darkness of it is impressive, and the fact that you get to dance in the mirror as Batman is very entertaining. This video went on longer than I thought, so I'm going to be splitting this one up to even more little pieces. This is going to be the PS VR video collection. Stay tuned in a future video for my regular games.